What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and today I'm just gonna go ahead and jump right to the chase, okay? I'm not gonna sit here and pussyfoot around with this stuff very much longer. The thing is I get really sick and tired of seeing things like this on the internet. It's a pretty common phenomenon for parents to upload either like a story like this will be, or video of them doing something completely fucking ridiculous to their kids for virtually no real reason, right? I mean, I understand like you gotta discipline your kids and everything, but the reason that they do these things and the reason that they go to these extremes most of the time, in my opinion, is just so insignificant that it doesn't need to go this far. Now look, I'm all for taking your kids' Xbox when they're not doing well in school and they're prioritizing video games too much. I'm all for taking their fucking phone away when they're not behaving well and things like that, right? Like, I understand that. You do have to discipline children. You have to teach them, don't do that, you know? Don't act that way. Don't, slack off when it comes to important things. It's something you do have to ingrain into kids, but there's a way to do it, in my opinion. There's actually many ways to do it, and I simply just don't think that destroying things that they like is the way to go. Now, you'll see these videos all over YouTube, and honestly, a lot of them are staged, but a lot of them, I would say a very disturbing amount of them are real, where parents will basically, they'll take their kid's PlayStation, and the backstory behind it, they'll tell them, hey, my kid, he wasn't doing good in school, he's got D's and F's, I told him once before, now I'm gonna destroy his shit. And they'll film the kid out in the front yard with the father, who has a sledgehammer and is destroying his Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, just smashing it into bits and pieces out in the front yard. The kid's obviously distraught, he's crying. His dad is destroying something that he enjoys very much. And the dad, they film the kid sitting there crying so it can get millions of views on YouTube, and all their kids at school and everything, all the fellow classmates of this kid can laugh at him for crying on YouTube. And I think that it's insane, because I don't think that it really teaches anyone anything that is, I would say, good, that is fundamental for them to be good adults. In fact, I would argue that it actually does the opposite. Now, the thing I want to focus on here is a post that went up on Reddit. AITA for deleting my son's Minecraft word. I believe AITA stands for Am I the Asshole? And the further we get into this, the more you're going to realize, hopefully, that yes, this woman is definitely the asshole. I have two children, a 9-year-old son and a 6-year-old daughter. My son had a Minecraft world where he built quite an impressive castle on an island, which he was very proud to show to me. Okay, so right there in that sentence, we've already established that, this kid is very close to what he's created. Which, I mean, people who don't play video games, I don't think, sometimes understand how much of an accomplishment video games can be to people, man. When you put an insane amount of time into a video game, it really does become something that you kind of bond with in a way that you don't really bond with in other forms of entertainment. I mean, sure, you can love a movie to death, but I don't personally think that just because you've watched a movie 500 times means that you're going to feel the same way about that as you would like a video game that you've played for 3 years and tried to 100%. I mean, this kid was proud enough of what he had made that he decided to show it to his parents, Since school was canceled, he had issues with waking up on time. He's supposed to wake up at 7 each morning, but for the past month, he's been sleeping in until about 9 or 10. I always set an alarm for him, but he sleeps right through it. I don't wake him up because waking himself up is a skill that he needs to learn. Yeah, that's true. He definitely needs to learn that. I told him about 2 weeks ago that there are going to be consequences for him if he continues to sleep in every morning. At first, he understood and was waking up on time every morning, but for the past week or so, he's fallen back into old habits. I told him yesterday that this is his final warning, and today he slept in until 11. Okay, I don't know if this is just me or what it is, but I mean, what is honestly so fucking bad about your children sleeping in until 11 o'clock in the morning when they have literally no responsibilities in the world besides the chores around their house, if they even have those? I mean, I get yeah, you want to set a routine for them and things like that, but I mean, they have literally nothing to fucking do. What are you setting a routine for? So they can wake up and do literally what you're mad about them doing late at night? I don't understand. It isn't like he's staying up all night and neglecting sleep. I mean, he's getting sleep. So basically what this screams to me is, well, I'm mad that he's not waking up at 7 o'clock in the morning and playing video games for 13 hours a day because he has literally nothing else to do since all the schools are closed down and he can't go see his friends because of quarantine and things like that. I just don't understand why he can't go to bed at 10 o'clock and wake up at 7 and do the same thing that he would be doing until midnight and then waking up at 11. I don't get it. You do realize he's going to be playing video games for a weird amount of time to you, right? It doesn't really matter what schedule he's really adhering to. I mean, he's not waking up at unhealthy times for kids. On the weekends, I slept in all the time. My parents had no problem with it for the most part because it didn't really affect me. Like, it didn't do anything. Like, it wasn't like I had a job that I had to do when I was 12. Like, I had to wake up at 7 and go to work. I mean, sometimes as a kid, I slept until like 3 p.m., okay? My parents weren't necessarily thrilled about that, but I mean, they didn't go as far as destroying shit that I cared about. And hey, guess what? I turned out okay, you know? I slept in a little bit, and just shockingly enough, I'm okay. Right? Like, I don't have 4 arms and 6 eyes or anything. Today I woke up at 11:30. So I'm not necessarily understanding what the whole deal is with that. But so I followed through with my warning and went on the computer and deleted his favorite Minecraft world. I also took away computer privileges for the next month. When I told him, he started screaming and crying. He told me that he spent a whole year working on that world, and he's very distraught that he's never going to see it again. He's been crying and sobbing throughout the day and has refused to eat any of his meals. Now, the thing that gets me about this is you did the right thing only after completely fucking destroying the trust with your child and completely just being an ass for literally no reason. Like, yeah, okay, take his computer privileges for a month. If that's something you want to set in your household, good, right? Okay, it don't matter, okay? That's an acceptable thing to do. But you kind of contradict everything that you were supposed to do here because, first off, you destroyed his Minecraft world. Okay, so you destroy something that he has spent a year working on and that he cares about a lot. You fucking get rid of it because he's not waking up at the time you want him to wake up at. But then you take his computer privileges, which, I mean, you didn't have to do anything other than that, right? Like, if you take the computer from him, he can't play on the Minecraft server. He can't do anything on it. So what was the point in doing that? Just because you were mad? That's a good lesson to teach your child. Hey, when you're angry and you're gonna think a little irrationally, that's when you need to take action. You need to take action not when you're thinking clearly and you're gonna make a concise decision that actually fucking makes sense. You gotta act out of complete just anger and fear that your kid's gonna start sleeping in until 2 p.m. Like, I just don't understand it. That doesn't even make sense to me. And then she's almost like shocked that he would be upset. Like, he's 9 years old, right? And he has spent over a year working on that world. A big castle on an island and shit, right? You know, 1 out of 9 of the years he's been on this planet, he has spent working on that. And you just get rid of it because of what? Because he's not fucking sleeping until the time that you dictate he needs to sleep to. Like, how would any of you feel if the project that you'd been working on for a year was just completely destroyed by a power that rules over you in your life because you weren't doing exactly what they said? Now, I get most people see things like this as insignificant, like, oh, it's just a Minecraft world, he can always start another one. But that's not really the point, right? Like, that's not what we're talking about. The point is that all you're teaching this kid is to not want to show you shit. All you're teaching your kid is, oh, whenever I have something that I really like and that I enjoy doing and, you know, it's a hobby to me, well, if mom finds out that I'm not doing exactly what she wants, she's just gonna get rid of it and she's gonna ruin it for me. Like, I don't think parents understand sometimes how dangerous this kind of shit is to the relationship between you and your kid. Like, parents will deadass be out here doing things like this, just ruining stuff that you care about, just completely shitting on everything you do, right? And then, you know, they're like, I wonder why my kid doesn't open up to me, man. I wonder why when I try to talk to my kid, they don't tell me anything. Probably because they slept in 3 hours too late and you went and destroyed shit they'd been working on for a year. Like, I don't understand the confusion. Of course he's gonna be upset. What person who had been working on something like this wouldn't be upset, right? Like, what do you think the odds are that, like, if this kid was into, I don't know, painting or something like that, he was working on like this big ass painting for a year, big like mural or something on his wall. What do you think the odds are that if the mom was upset that he was sleeping in too late, she'd go in there with a bucket of white paint and throw it all over it and just ruin it? Yeah, that probably wouldn't happen unless the person was like a real cunt. But I get tired of seeing all this stuff online where, like, parents, they do this, right? They just completely destroy things that their kids love. Like, when it comes down to destroying like video games and Xboxes and things like that, like, what do you gain out of doing that? In reality, you financially lose out, right? Because, like, the people who do that, where they destroy an Xbox or a PlayStation, they're destroying what, a $150 to $300 console, depending on which version you're buying. That's its value now. They were more expensive when they came out, of course. So a couple $100 destroyed on the console. All the accessories like the controller, the headset, things like that, you know, a couple $100 if they got some real good high tier shit. We'll say we're up to about $500 now. And then, like, all the games that are now completely useless because you've destroyed their property, they're like $60 a pop, sometimes more expensive. So, like, if you have like a dozen of them, you're pushing almost $1,000. Like, you're really getting up there depending on which versions of which games you're buying. So I don't understand the mentality where it's like, it's purely out of anger. That's all it really comes down to. Like, it's just parents getting mad at their kids for shit And then instead of rationally acting by, oh, I don't know, taking it away from them, not letting them play it until they fix their behavior, whatever it is, they just kind of ruin things because they're upset. And parents, I don't know what you think necessarily is going to happen with you and your kid. Like your kid's gonna just suddenly respect you for doing that. It's gonna be some shit that just changes their life where they're like, well, now that dad has destroyed $800 worth of my video games that he bought me over the years, I respect him a lot more now. I think he's a really good person, and every time that I have some, like a mistake going on in my life, I'll make sure that I let him know. I won't try and hide shit behind his back. I won't go behind his back when I'm doing things to try and hide behavior so he doesn't destroy more of my stuff. So yes, you are the asshole for deleting your son's Minecraft world when he was sleeping in too late for you. And by the way, he's not gonna have school for another 4 fucking months. Like, I don't understand once again what the problem was. He hasn't had school probably since like March or April. School is not coming back this year. I'm sorry to tell people, it's not coming back. If you have even one more day of school, I would be astonished that that was even like a remote possibility in your district. School's done for the year. They got all summer. Some schools are talking about they may go back early, but even then, it's a matter of when, and it's not going to be next week. So I don't understand the fucking big hoopla, I guess, which is a stupid thing to say, but I don't understand it when such a unique event in the world is going on and they're quite literally not going to have responsibilities for months. Let your kids play some fucking video games, go watch Hallmark or Lifetime for a couple hours, drink your wine, and just shut the fuck up. It really isn't that big of a deal. If you got a problem with them staying up past 9 o'clock, that's fine, I understand, but there's no reason that your kids should have to wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning every single day when they have nothing to do, because it's just stupid. I mean, they're just gonna get up and do the same thing you're mad about them doing anyway. So, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new, follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shop Opti and OpTube down below. Thank you to my channel members, your support helps my channel tremendously, and until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, not destroying my kid's shit if I ever have one, because I'm just completely thinking in fear and irration of things that I don't understand, and signing out.